You have a top 5 fantasy list as well.
Yeah, you know, you have the fantasy football. I have the fantasy of Hollywood. And I was getting a lot of tweets about this last night. Here's my top 5 fantasy Hollywood quarterbacks.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, let me introduce you to a man named Flash Gordon. Now, I think that's actually his real name. But he's the Jets quarterback. You know, there was so many issues over the summer. Who are the Jets quarterback going to be? Flash Gordon, look at that guy. He can cut glass with that stare. He's a Yale man, 6'3", 220.
Is that why you like him?
He looks a little like me if I blew dry a little bit more.
Jawline,
but listen, you want to talk about a big win for a Jets quarterback? This guy saved the world. Forget about the AFC East. That's small potatoes. He saved the world. He's a big man. I'm a big Flash Gordon fan.
You went to Princeton. He went.
I did, and I'm still embracing him. But now look, number 2. Now we're talking. You want to talk about some of these guys? You know how big it is in Fantasy K, the rushing yards for a quarterback. If you can do that, it's a bonus. Cam, Russell Wilson, Vince Howard of the East Dillon Lions. I like him because of his mobility and because he's a program builder.
Okay.
You know, he went over to East Dillon and said, I'm going to take this team and put it on my shoulders. And he also plays in that Eric Taylor system. We look at guys who play under Belichick.
Did you watch tape on these, by the way?
I watched my DVR for years. So I love Vince Howard. Let me move quickly to number 3, of course. And this is just a living legend. This is Johnny Utah, Ohio State Buckeye.
Yes.
I love the guy because you know he's athletic because he learned to surf in like 2 days. Like it was just nothing, even at 25 years old. Ohio State loves him, currently for the FBI. Now, Kay, you can speak to this.
Yes.
He does have a bit of red flag. He has a recurring knee issue, okay, which I'm a little concerned about.
Proneness is a real thing.
It is, but when he's right, he's the best there is, 100% pure adrenaline. And that brings us to number 4, Joe Kane from the ESU Wolfpack. This is an interesting thing, too. A few off-the-field concerns. He does ride a motorcycle, which probably isn't ideal. I remember Roethlisberger used to ride a motorcycle without a helmet. Joe does it, but look, he's one of those guys. You know how you see those quarterbacks sometimes that the line just wants to block for him? I mean, he looks incredible. The line wants to block for him. You want him in the last 2 minutes.
Wolfpack.
He did lose the Heisman to Tim. He could go all the Wayman, but he was the runner-up, and that's good. And finally, oh, my goodness. A living legend, Johnny Moxon. We also know him as the Beak from Varsity Blues. 6'1", 183. You know what you like about him? A little like Tom Brady.
I don't like much about him. Go
well,
on.
you'll like this. He's a little like Tom Brady in the sense that he came off the field for an injured legend.
Are we okay with comparing him to Tom Brady? Hashtag
Listen, that might be a little much, but he plays in a 5-wide system. He's a bookworm, too. Another Ivy League guy who knows the playbook well. I like Mox, and I like him as much as I do like him. I don't want your laugh. But he's my number 5.
Not bad here.